One of my goals was to build a company that my mother would be proud of. And, faith is a part of your life. And so I felt like it should be a part of our company. And that's really the mentality behind it. I would love to tell you there's just some brilliant vision or whatever there may be, but as a human being, I'm amazed anybody that can make it through life without faith, because I know it's a struggle every day for me. There's challenges I face.
We all have those moments where we need a little encouragement to get through our day. Someone to remind us that we are not alone. Find peace. Embrace joy. Seek God daily. Welcome to Jesus Calling Stories of Faith. Our guests are a part of a unique faith-based retail clothing company called Altered State. Committed to their mission of standing out for good, Altered State works with local and international mission organizations to support their efforts to help people in need around the world.
My name's Erin Walters. I'm the chairman and CEO at Altered State, and one of the co-founders. If you would have asked me, there's no way I would have dreamed that I would have ended up in retail. I mean, I went off to college on a football scholarship, was planning to be a doctor, because I grew up in small town America, and if you did well in school, you either became a doctor or a lawyer. At least that was my perception. And then I got a job at a retailer at Walgreens as the shop, literally the stockroom manager, and just fell in love with it from there, and I've been in it ever since. Just to be honest, I was very successful at a very young age, and I always felt like this emptiness, like there had to be something more to my life than just my next promotion, my next pay raise, what house did I live in and what car did I drive. In April in 2009, when the economy was completely crashed, it was the worst economy since the 1930s. I was working out in California, making really good money, and it meant, going in and resigning and saying, hey, I'm going to start this company. And, it meant selling all of my stock, selling any car I could, anything that we had, I sold to get what money we could to found the company. And so, I think God was just always tugging on my heart of, what are you going to do with your talents? And so one of the brilliance and one of the things that I love about Altered State is I'm able to do what I'm passionate about and what I really love, but also live out my faith and give back to my community. I think a lot of people thought I was crazy when we founded the company, but God's got a plan. And, on my desk, there's a scribe, Jeremiah 29:11, and I truly believe that with all my heart. I mean, I really do. I know it with my own. I've lived it. I mean, I am a living testimony of if you follow God's plan, He will take care of you. And that doesn't necessarily mean financially, God trusts us with all different things. I feel like, He has been able to trust me with a business and finance and money, and but He trusts other people with other things. But it's been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. It's been the hardest. It's been the most challenging thing. This is not an easy walk. You're going to be attacked. You're going to be questioned. And you've got to put your faith where it is, and then you got to be willing to work for it.
I'm Mary Beth Fox. I'm the Chief Brand Officer for Altered State, which means I'm responsible for all the customer touch points. Been with the company for about 8 years. It's really a God thing. I used to work with the founders, Erin and Brian, and when they started the company, I was in awe of what they were doing. Talked to them for several years, finally went to visit them at store number 3, grand opening, and fell in love, and I've been following this brand ever since. They started as a coffee shop and a bookstore, Christian books and music, and even though they had to evolve their platform of what they sold, they never changed who they were and who we are as a company at Altered State. We give back first. Other people have budget meetings and all they talk about is the bottom line, and we actually have key performance indicators that we have to give back at the same rate or better than we grow our sales. So as a company, our mission was was the heart of who we are. And I don't think it matters whether we sell books, music, donuts, or, apparel and gifts. As long as our mission is to give back, God's on our side, and we've done really well with that. Just staying close to our mission of who we are.
I make giving back the number one priority. So, there's been years, and I don't normally share this publicly, but as an organization, we give anywhere from, 17 to 24 to 25% of our profits away, which is completely and utterly unheard of. I kind of look at it as almost like tithing. It's like, that's not an option. It's not my money, it's God's money. He provided that money, and so that's what we do. And anytime that I'm asked for something, and maybe it's not in our budget or whatever it may be, but I feel like that's what God wants us to do, then that's what we do.
I was trained to think about money and protect myself and make sure that I was, making moves that would allow me to work and make enough money to support my family. The fact that the company gave back first, I thought it was just something they said. Didn't really worry about it, and then I got here, and it's what we do. I mean, our mission of giving back, visiting schools that we build in Peru and seeing the difference we're making in the lives there, or through our Mission Monday organizations. Every store gets to pick who they're going to support locally, and it's not just about giving a check. It's about creating a relationship and a bond with someone in your local community. And if you do that, then how could you go wrong?
So, Peru came out of a whim. I had committed to go on a mission trip. I was stressed to the hilt. I was like, what have I done? I can't be out of the office for a week. I actually had a business trip that I was supposed to be on. And, at the last minute decided, I'm going to follow through on this. And the way Peru really happened is God, had it all figured out. It was myself and my translator, and I was talking to a young lady in the 6th grade, and as a typical American, because we take a lot for granted, I'm in an area where they have no running water, no place to use the restroom, all these things that, we just take for granted from day to day. And asked her, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she literally just started crying. And I asked my translator, I was like, what did I say? Did I say something wrong? And, the translator's like, well, here it's not the same. And so the young girl was like, well, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't have anywhere to go to school. They didn't have the money to finish a high school for us. And I don't know, just without even thinking, I was just like, don't worry about it. We'll build that high school. And I get on the bus to go to the next school that we're visiting, and my translator starts crying, I start crying, and she's like, do you realize what you just said? And I mean, really, the weight just hit me like, oh my goodness, I'm in this third world country, and I just committed to building a school. I've never built a school in my life. I have no idea what I'm going to do. And oh, by the way, we're trying to run a company all at the same time. Like, how is this going to happen? And, just the partnership with the people in Peru has been outstanding. I'm excited to see what we accomplish. That young lady, I can't wait. She's about to graduate. So it's just a very special thing. And we'll have, over 19 schools finished in the next 3 to 4 years. So it's very, very exciting. We have 5 up and finished now and 14 more that are being worked on. And it's really through a partnership. Again, that's where God has provided that, it's not necessarily me having to figure all this out.
We'll be back with more inspiring stories from people who have been directly impacted by Altered State's giving back efforts, and see one of their partnerships in action with Compassion That Compels, an organization that brings hope and comfort to women battling cancer. But first, this brief message about a beautiful new edition of Jesus Calling. Share His love. Share His inspiration. Share His strength. Share His joy. Share the peace found in His presence. Jesus Calling.
Hi, my name is Christiana Stewart, and I'm the founder and CEO of Compassion That Compels. We provide hope and emotional support to women fighting any type of cancer, one compassionate act at a time. I'm really excited because we have an opportunity to pack compassion bags, 1,000 compassion bags. This is our second time doing this with an amazing company with a mission to help support nonprofits within their community. Through the years, they've selected Compassion That Compels, and because of their Mission Monday program, we've reached over 3,200 women battling cancer through their stores and provided compassion bags to them. Not only that, we've encouraged these women through fashion shows, meet and greets. We can't wait to see the women that will be touched by this season's Mission Monday.
Compassion That Compels is probably our longest running partnership with Mission Monday. And it started kind of funny. Christiana came to me and wanted me to support Compassion That Compels. And what I told her was Mission Monday is about our stores. They get to decide who they're going to support. They, in turn, they pick an organization. They don't only hand over a check. They work with that organization. They volunteer. They get to know the people in the organization. And so I told her, if you can convince our store managers, we'd love to support you. And now she has almost the entire chain working with her.
So today we're at the Altered State Distribution Center, and we are packing over 1,000 bags for ladies. We're essentially going to send out the bags to all of our stores across the country that are supporting Compassion That Compels for Mission Monday. And they're going to get to bless ladies in the battle of their lives with these great compassion bags.
Some of the best stories that we hear are we actually keep Compassion That Compels bags in all of our stores. And you would not believe the number of times a month a lady comes into our store and just spills it and tells us that she's going through this tough time. She just got bad news, found out that she's battling cancer, and we are able to hand her right then and there the bag. And right then and there, there's a connection with her that makes her feel like we care about her. And that's, something that we can't just tell her, we have to show her. And so the connection with Compassion That Compels is just one other way that we can be there for our guest when she needs us.
It's so amazing. That bag changed my life. And, people go, it's a bag. Oh, it's so much more than a bag. It's a bag full of hope and compassion. And it's to get to be on the other side of the bag and actually get to deliver a bag. Just knowing what it meant to me to receive the bag and actually get to watch another woman experience that. There are no words. Simply amazing.
Well, everything at Altered State, even the name, is about transformation and inspiring and growing, continuously growing and changing. And so our customers actually decide what the product is going to be in our store. So we try a lot. We have an amazing group of merchants that are real passionate about our brand. Most of them have been here from the beginning of, Altered State. They try products, they put it in the store. We wait to see how a customer reacts. And one of the great things about Altered State is that we can turn on a dime. Like the minute we know something's checking, the guest loves it, then we get back into it and find other ways to bring that to her, whether it's other colors, other patterns, other fabrics.
So you walk into the store, and you walk in as a guest, and you, as a singular experience, but you come together and you walk out knowing that you suddenly have community. So it can be walking in, looking at there's scriptures everywhere. There's within the dressing room, and I call it the stressing room. Any woman that knows when they go into a dressing room, you look and there's these curtains and your ankles are exposed to everybody, just whatever walking by, and you're just sitting there critiquing yourself. So you have a shopping experience, but at the same time, you have it on a level where you know that inner beauty is what's going to carry you through long after that piece of clothing is gone. Giving back is what they do. It's who they are, and they stress it so much that their employees have it's the dedicated day. They go through training. It is the reason why their employees are so committed.
The inspirational piece has just taken off. We have prayer books in every one of our fitting rooms, and people write their deepest, darkest secrets, things that they really want guidance on and help with. As an organization, we share that. We share the prayer requests throughout our team, and we even have decided that they're so inspirational to us that we make wallpaper for our fitting rooms out of the prayers from some of the books. And honestly, what we find is that through our music, through the product that we carry, every little bit of that's an inspiration for her. And we get feedback constantly from guests saying, I was having this really tough day. I lost my pet. My mother found out she had an illness. I was in the store, and everywhere I looked was something that helped me in spirit and guided me to get through this rough time. So what we say always as a store team is we want her to leave feeling better than when she walked in the door.
So I had my own cancer journey a year ago, and I walked into the Altered State store at Turkey Creek here, and I just was not feeling pretty at all. It was right before Mother's Day. I had no hair. I really felt a lot like an alien, to be honest with you. And I just wanted to feel beautiful. And so I walked into Altered State, and one of the associates there, Miranda, just opened her arms to me. She ended up praying for me. She found a sundress that I could feel pretty in after my surgery, and she gave me my Compassion bag. And I'll be honest, in that moment, I didn't really understand how my life was going to change and what that Compassion bag was going to mean to me.
It was my 25th wedding anniversary, and I was having chemo at the Cancer Institute, and I could have had chemo any day during the week, but it just happened to be on that Monday. And Hensley was there with the executives from Altered State and some of the employees from the stores, and they walked in with Christiana, and Christiana explained everything in the bag, and Hensley opened the blanket and laid the blanket over me, and it was just the most incredible experience. It was a God-filled moment. I love you, sis. She's incredible.
I think the fact that we're a give back company first has attracted a group of people that, if you love giving back, typically you are a selfless person. Our other core values are empowering and leadership and excellence. And if you start with selflessness, though, all of those other things seem to fall to suit and into suit anyway. As a group, we spend a lot of time hiring. Whole lot of time hiring to find the right mix. We always look for somebody who makes us better. So, one of our principles is to hire your weakness. And that's why I call Selena the Misfits, because we're all so unique and different. But it's a group of people that love each other like a family. And gosh, you're lucky. You're lucky if you get to work with people every day that you love like that. We do a daily devotional every single day. We take the day and we share it throughout our company. So, they all received a book last year, as well as we know our Compassionistas that are battling cancer have them as well, and that's something that we love to do. There's a person in our office who takes the daily verse and actually elaborates on how it's impacted her life over time, or talks a little bit about how she grew up and the verse, applies to her life. And so not only do we get the verse, but we get her take on it as well. So it's, honestly, Jesus Calling has been with us since day one, the first time I set a store. And so the one thing that I love about a daily devotional, if you're all focused on the same thing, you get the same verse, and it kind of asks, you have to ask yourself how you apply to that and how that applies to what you do every day. So as a company, we feel like the more we can all be together and focused on the same thing, there's a lot of power in that, for sure.
Running a company, there's a lot of pressure on you, and a lot of long days, and which is great, but it is challenging. It's not easy. And, when you have 2,000 families dependent on you making good decisions, good final decisions, that does carry a little bit of weight. And I had an associate named Terry Lethco, and she brought it up to me one day and said, "Hey, I've been praying for you. I've been thinking about it, and I'd like for you to use this." And so I did. When I found it, it always spoke to me. The topic or the devotion seemed to fit with what I was being faced with at that moment in time. So I think it's a very simple way to, kind of ground yourself and take some quiet time in the morning. And so that's how I used it. And that's what I like about it.
We try to satisfy our guests in everything that we do, and we stay true to our passion, which is giving back. So instead of telling people we're Christians, we just show them that we're Christians, and that's the best way to get everybody on your side, I think. And it doesn't alienate anybody. We're very inclusive when we do that.
We just want to build a phenomenal company that makes a huge impact. Whether we have 200 stores, 300 stores, or 700 stores, that's really not a big priority for me. Do we want to continue to grow the business? Absolutely. Do we want to continue to learn, and grow as an organization and as a people? Absolutely. One of the brilliance, or one of the best things about us growing is, we can help more communities, and believe it or not, we are really motivated by that.
There is security and camaraderie and numbers, and I think we have our little community in Sevierville. We're all cancer survivors. We get together, we have lunch, we talk, we deliver bags together, and it's just, no one knows what it's like unless you've dealt with it and been through it. And so it's really important, I think, to have that communication with people who have been through the same journey that you have.
For more information about Altered State and their Mission Mondays, visit alteredstate.com/giving. To find out more about how you can help a woman who is battling cancer through Compassion That Compels, visit compassionthatcompels.org. Next time on Jesus Calling Stories of Faith, we hear from former professional wrestler Ted DiBiase. Ted wrestled in the WWE and gained worldwide fame as the $1 Million Man. As Ted's success grew, so did his pride, and his lifelong faith and reliance on God began to fade.
I had been so faithful to my convictions until God gave me what I wanted. And it's as if I said, gee, thanks, Lord. I appreciate all your help, showing up for me when I was crying in that desert cemetery and seeing me through all of this. But I got it now. When I need you again, I'll let you know.
Thank you for watching Jesus Calling Stories of Faith. To learn more about how to keep up with our shows bi-monthly and to listen to our weekly podcast, please visit youtube.com/JesusCallingBook to view and hear previous episodes, and to watch a short informational video about how to access all things Jesus Calling on audio and video formats. Plus, learn how to subscribe to our podcast and video channels. Your subscription helps get the word out to more people who will benefit from these inspirational stories of faith.